Good afternoon. It's Tom from Novum Personnel. Great
Good
to have
afternoon.
you here.
Thank you.
And we'll get going with the questions. So if for the people watching, you'd just like to introduce us to what you do and for how long you've been doing it, please.
I'm Managing Director of Novum Personnel, which consists of two brands. So one's Novum Personnel, which specialises in construction and engineering. And the other one is Hello Education, which is an education supply company. I've worked in recruitment for about 10 years now. And aside from that, I've also developed a couple of apps over the last year, which are about to launch. So quite exciting, really. So yeah, it's good. I can tell you what the apps do if you'd like to know.
Yeah, go on. You sound like a busy chap.
One is almost like a TikTok, but just based at sport.
Yeah.
So basically you do a sports or a games challenge, and then you can call out your friends. It's very simplistic and very user friendly around the fact that there's no commenting, so there's no negative aspect to it. You simply rate something out of 100, and then you can go on your leaderboard geographically or for a particular sport or a particular skill. We've built that in conjunction with a couple of ex-senior presidents of Adidas and a Premier League football captain. And then my other app is a careers app, I suppose you would have it, but it's about ripping up what we currently think about what a CV should look like and what it should contain, and making it person-focused and focused around what an individual's skills are, rather than where their deficiencies are. So
brilliant.
We've actually won a couple of awards already for the second app before it even has come out. So yeah, all very good, all very positive.
Nice one. We'll have to look out for those. Part of the question. So I don't know how long have you been developing those, and obviously your other business. In terms of the last couple of years and COVID-19, what would you say has kind of been the biggest impact that had on what you were doing and what you've been up to?
Before COVID, Novum was a permanent recruitment company.
Yeah.
Obviously, as soon as we were getting around to COVID, then we realised that the whole idea of people paying a fee to employ somebody who they might have to furlough in a month was basically going to be a non-starter. So yeah. I went away and looked at what industries I thought would lend themselves to like natural sort of anything which was sort of virus based would save us from. I was quite fortunate. My sister's quite senior in the NHS, so I picked her brain about like how the reaction was expected to things like COVID, and she had been through all the senior planning around other pandemics previously. So I looked at construction and thought, they're always 2 meters apart. They've always got breathing apparatus on. They're nearly always outside. I've got an economic history A level, so I know that in times of economic struggles, they always go towards building an infrastructure. So I thought, well, do you know what? We'll take these lovely 8 weeks, 10 weeks to reposition ourselves as a construction company. And we turn over probably as much in that as on a Monday morning now as we did the 6 months before COVID started. So, and then second to that, I did wonder if there was going to be any political will to shut schools again. So we opened the education recruitment company. That had been in the August, September after COVID. You've got my dog has just come in to say hello now, little Wookie.
Hello. What's your dog's name?
Wookie.
Hello, Wookie. Oh, I like that name.
Yeah. The old one's called Chewbacca, Star Wars kids.
Yeah.
You jump down. Jump down.
So it's interesting speaking to business owners and how they've adapted and sometimes actually come out better for that adaptation from COVID and being forced to react in different ways that they might not have done before it had the impact. So
yeah, I'd say I know I always feel bad saying this because I know it's had such a bad impact on so many people, but professionally and personally, COVID was wonderful for me. That 2, 3, 4 months of just downtime with my 2 young kids, my wife, was like genuinely quite magical. It really changed how I approach life. Actually made me much less financially driven. It made me like I haven't done any networking since. I've had no desire to do any. It's almost I've wanted to take the nonsense veneer off life. Like if I'd have done this 3 years ago, I'd have been sat in a shirt and tie now, and given it all that. Whereas like it really like showed me how important it is as like I hate the phrase leaders, but as business leaders to make sure that the people who work for you feel safe and secure. Make sure that you're transparent with their expectations around what's going to happen, and what's really actually important in business, and that's the reliance. We talk a lot in business about assets, and it's a cliche to say the people who work for us are the biggest assets, but it's about just securing people's happiness, and if you can do that through better working practices or better financial rewards or whatever, then I think things are going good for you. Look after the people. So that we can't really compromise. That's what we've tried to do.
Brilliant. So looking ahead then, from the experience, and what does the future look like? And what do you see as sort of main challenges moving forwards from where you are today?
In the recruitment market, we've lost a huge number of people in this country over the last 18 months due to Brexit. I don't think we're going to have on either side, whether it's red or blue tie, I don't think we'll have any leader in the next 5 to 10 years acknowledge the economic impact of that. So I don't see the labour market like catching up with demand anytime soon. I think that's going to be a problem. I think we're probably on the cusp of quite a big financial downturn. I hope that the government do the sensible thing and use that to invest in whoever the government will be, invest in retraining and trying to re-diversify our workforce towards, the sorts of roles that are there available. And so I think that's the case with that. One of the things when I sort of started, because one of the ideas for the apps, it actually wasn't mine. I just came on as an investor. One of the other ideas I actually had years and years ago. I just presumed somebody would do it. And it just never has got done. So when COVID came, I thought, well, I'll do it then. So we did. And I think with that, it's people are obsessed with like technology replacing human interaction. But actually, technology needs human interaction. Like it's, you can't have an automated workforce because you don't have a workforce that earn any money then. So
you can have one without the other.
Yeah, exactly. So what we've tried to do is incorporate and build technology, which actually requires greater human engagement, just in a better way. Like it's not about reducing engagement; it's about increasing it and just making sure that it meets the aims of what people want it to. So, we're quite excited about the future with the app. We've had some like gigantic names approach us about aspects of it already. So, I'm really positive about those. But I just think my worry is the labour market really, and the education system around that. I think both are struggling. So.
Yeah, fair points. So, if we were to ask you, or move on to biggest learnings, a bit more general about entrepreneurship. So you as a business owner, what would you say your biggest learning has been?
Trust people. Trust people. Just throw down on all the protectionism of that people are trying to rob you, or people are always going to try and do the minimum, or let's just almost trust that by and large people are good. And on occasions, you'll lose money. On occasions, people will rob from you. But that's the minority. And I think that's, again, not to get political, but I think one of the problems we've had in society generally, 20 years ago, we acknowledged that some people would take advantage of the welfare system. But that was fine because it benefited so many people. Whereas I think we've moved to almost a stance now where we can't help anybody because some people will take advantage of it. And I think it's about a culture of hope and development and generating like positive. I hate the phrase mindset. Positive mindset and positive movement and positive momentum. And to do that, you need to be positive people, and you need to trust and have faith. And if somebody tells you that they need an afternoon off to go to the dentist, you believe they're going to the dentist.
Yes.
And if you don't believe they're going to the dentist, then you've employed the wrong person.
I think it's a good learning that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a big thing, having a positive outlook.
Also, it's just tiring. Yeah. Like I'd have the energy to be worried about what people are doing.
Yeah, that's it. Have faith in the majority, as you say. Okay, brilliant. So if we were going to go into a time machine, take you back in time and meet your 18-year-old self, what's the best advice you could give him?
I'm going to sound really, really stupid here. I did business and commercial law at uni. And I'd say do a course which had less hours in the timetable. Only because, and this is going to be backwards to what I bet 90% of people say, everything I learned at uni, I learned outside of a classroom. So
that's a fair point.
Something which enabled me to be out of the classroom and play more football and play more rugby and see my friends more would have been better. Because although I got a good education, I got a first. But I didn't. I got 2-1 actually. I haven't done anything really with that. I just did it because I didn't know what else to do. So, like for me, like my advice to any 18-year-old, especially me, is like today doesn't really matter because there's always tomorrow, isn't there? So, don't matter if you fail your GCSEs, just do them again. Just be better prepared. As long as you're willing to take accountability that you failed them because of you, that's fine. And that's actually what I tell my kids.
Yeah, ownership, accountability, and responsibility. Operating above the line.
Yeah.
Good. Like it. So what inspires you, or what's inspiring you currently? Could be a person or a figure that's publicly well known. It could be family, or it could be a situation in your business, or what you do your business for, that kind of thing.
I don't know. That is a sort of when I was thinking of these, I was thinking of all the varieties of like different people, and there is such like a broad. Joe, I'm going to go really cheesy here. My eldest son, he's 11, and he's got Asperger's, and he's just the happiest kid in the world, and like. I absolutely regarding being inspiring, I absolutely envy how easily he finds joy in everything. And he's a really academic kid. He does brilliant at school. He's like top of the class in all his SATs benchmarks. He did his SATs a few weeks ago. He's, although he's got Asperger's, he had needed to have a one-to-one at school till like year 4, and he doesn't have one anymore. He's going to a mainstream secondary. He's got a YouTube channel with hundreds of thousands of viewers. But it's just the simple pleasures in life. And I think one of the things that social media has done, by and large, but I think just the wider society, is we've made 9 out of 10 look so attainable that we now think 6 out of 10 is rubbish. Whereas actually, 25 years ago, 7 out of 10 of people have been ecstatic with. And I always think back to Christmas a few years ago when we got him an Alexa. And when he opened the box, he opened the wrap paper, then he opened the box, and he could just see it was the old flat ones, not the dome ones. And it had cellophane around it, obviously to protect it. And he thought it was a roll of sellotape. And he was so thankful. And I just thought, that's amazing. And I always think he's not bothered what other people think. He doesn't have the worries that we have. And I just think, And going back to what I said earlier about COVID, it was spending that time with him. He's very, very, very clever, very academic. So everyone always says, "Oh, he's a genius because he like knows loads of different languages. He can like do coding and he does digital animation and amazing with anything like fact based really or like process based." And then it's only when I stopped that I saw like the simple joys he had in life. Like, how was your pizza? Absolutely amazing, Dad. It's just amazing. And you think, where's my other son? Might grunt a bit. And I think like just being able to be so happy in a world full of people who are desperately seeking happiness.
Yeah,
I find really inspiring. Like today's a great day unless you give him reason to think otherwise.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Love that.
So so Ruben.
Excellent. So finally, got any offers, promotions, or just kind of latest news really about your business or one of your businesses that you might want to share, anything like that?
Yeah, the probably the biggest one is the careers app, which will be live in the next couple of weeks. Is a platform for businesses to be able to advertise themselves to school kids. And as we're seeing like a reduction in the labour market available, I think it's going to be more and more important that businesses make themselves aware to a younger and younger audience, because it'll be about a cultural fit. Because unless you're a professional footballer or you're a brain surgeon, most people can do most jobs. They've just got to be motivated and interested and have the desire to. Like, most of us aren't doing anything that's wonderfully skillful, sadly. And I think the skills are the employability skills. It's the resilience. It's the ability to carry on. It's the ability to acknowledge when you've got things wrong and be willing to be second best and improve yourselves. And I think through this app, what we're doing is we're trying to showcase talent in a different way. So if you started playing golf 2 years ago and you were rubbish, and then you put a video on your digital CV if you're playing golf and you're awful, and then 3 months later you've had a lesson and you're a bit better, and then 3 months later you've had another lesson and you're a bit better, then fast forward 2 years later you've had 6 lessons and you're much better. Then you've been resilient, you've shown dedication, you've taken on coaching, you've taken on information well, you've used that information away from the coaching. Like, that's no different to teaching somebody the alphabet. But it's the old cliche that if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll spend its life thinking it's an idiot. Then we need to work out what makes people, what motivates people, and what individual talents are. And what this app does is puts them at the center of what they do, and it's not peer reviewed. So if you had an account on it, your friend could never see that account unless you sent them that bespoke account that you wanted them to see. So there's no like peer-to-peer review. So when we've done all the early testing in schools and stuff, we found young people showcase talents their friends don't realise they have, because it puts them at the centre of it, because there's no way for people to shoot it down. Yeah. And then we take everything someone does and apply it to either a soft or hard skill in life. And that can be as simple as, I take my dog for a walk every night. Well, you take responsibility for something then, don't you?
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, what we've done with this is we've managed to be quite cute around some funding through central government and a few other bits and pieces. But for businesses to be on it, it's completely free. So that'll probably be the one.
I read something the other day, or heard something, but about experience versus experiences in terms of kids getting work. Obviously, they haven't got work experience versus, a 30, 40-year-old or what have you that's been in the market for 10, 20 years. But everyone's had experiences that determine the type of person that you are and how you responded. And it's more about, you can teach people skills. It's just the type of person that you're looking for. So,
yeah, and I think as well around it, the whole idea of I sound like an old man when I say this, but the younger generation are so used to evidencing everything they do.
Yeah.
In a way of, we evidence them out with their friends or them doing whatever, and through Instagram and things like that. So why not use that in a positive way? Why not make them realise where their talents are? People are happier when they're better at things. When people are better at things, they do things more often. So then you increase happiness. And so instead of having this ever-decreasing circle of somebody thinking, oh, well, I don't quite fit that box, we'll just get rid of the box. You know, like we don't need the box. The box doesn't serve any purpose. And I won't say an argument, but I had a disagreement at parents' evening just before Easter because my youngest son has terrible handwriting. So he's really clever, does all the work. And I said to the teacher, do you not think handwriting today is like riding a horse in 1915? No one will do it in 25 years. And she was like, no, people always handwriting needs handwriting. I was like, well, I don't know if in 10 years I've handwritten something and given it to somebody. So as long as I can read my writing, I can't hand in educational work handwritten anymore. It has to be thingy. I can't send a handwritten email. Nothing's handwritten anymore. And in 20 years, no one will handwrite because everyone will just tap onto a platform. It'll be a dying skill. Yeah. And when I confronted her with that as like a year 4 teacher, you could just see her world around her collapse because she was thinking, well, I'm only 35. Like, what happens when I don't have to teach handwriting anymore? And it's like, it's not they can't spell. It's not they can't form sentences. Visually, his handwriting isn't very good. And I was like, I don't really care. Like, that's fine. Like, and so I think that's what we need to do is it's because naturally anybody in government doesn't make a decision which benefits more than 5 years in advance because you might help the next man then it's nothing moves. Everything's very reactionary, but also short term. And so what we've hoped to do with what we've developed is something which almost like will supersede that in the sense that it's that it's a longer term process.
What's the app called?
Starting Point.
Starting Point,
yeah. And the website's mystartingpoint.co.uk.
Cool.
And the app goes live onto the App Store in a couple of weeks.
For that. All right, nice one, Tom. It's been fantastic talking to you. Most appreciated. All the best.
You too.